Hi, hope you're well. I just want to share with you something that I wish someone would have shared with me 20 years ago. As a training dancer, then going on to be a professional dancer, a lot of the job is about being able to cope and take rejection and then get yourself back up and then get off to another audition. But we weren't ever taught how to deal with rejection, and rejection as a human is like one of the worst things that can possibly happen to us. We need connection, we need each other. We wouldn't survive as babies if we didn't have someone else there to love and care for us. So rejection is a really big deal. It's a really hard thing to have to face and to cope with. And what I didn't learn at that time, what I've only learned more recently, is that being rejected is something that we can choose to allow to affect us, or we can choose to reject rejection. So it's all about how you collaborate with your mind and what you tell yourself to enable you to build yourself up, get out there and audition, get a rejection, and just say, you know what, I wasn't the right fit for this job's not right for me, I'll find my perfect job, off I go again. And not let that little voice in the head go, why didn't they want me? Was I not good enough? Was I not thin enough? Was I too tall? Maybe they just want blonde haired female dancers. Maybe I didn't fit with the team. Maybe they didn't like the way I look. Oh gosh, it's my face. Am I ugly? Is it my body? Am my shoulders too broad? Are my thighs too wide? And all the gazillions of horrible, hurtful, little harsh comments that your mind can go off and wandering off and around in circles, and it can really knock your self-esteem and your confidence to get up and carry on. But when you learn how to deal with rejection, when you learn how to not allow those horrible, hurtful, harsh, critical voices that are only in your head, or only in my head, knock you down, when you know not to let those thoughts run away with you, when you hear that voice and you say, no, I'm not listening to you, I'm not letting that in, and then you choose much more empowering thoughts. You say to yourself, you know what, you did your best. You weren't the right fit for this job. The next job is going to be yours. And you let it go. You don't take it as a personal rejection or a criticism of you personally. They don't know you. You're only standing, showing your, doing an audition, you're dancing, and for other people it'll be singing or acting. They don't know you. They don't know who you are. They're not personally rejecting you. It is just that you're not the right fit for that job. But it's very difficult to understand that, especially when you're younger. But as you get older, dealing with rejection and criticism is still a real challenge, and it often feeds right back into that younger you that had those other rejections. And it's all about then your self-worth and your self-esteem and the value that you've placed on yourself, and anything that someone else says can really trigger those old feelings and thoughts and beliefs about yourself. So I want to share with you 5 things. Hold on, I'm just being called. I'm just going to pause. Hi, I'm back. Yes, that was my son not wanting to go to the hairdressers to have his hair cut, but I've got some very bad news for him. We're going. So yeah, 5 top tips in how to not let rejection in. Number 1, if someone criticizes you or says something hurtful towards you, you can just simply say, thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing that. It's a way of just batting it back to them and not letting it in. So if someone says something harsh, hurtful or critical, I'm sure you know what I mean, you can just go, thank you for sharing that. And it has a way of just diffusing everything and just lets it go, and it's something that you're not taking on. The second thing is if someone says something to you, oh, you really messed that up, didn't you? Or, oh gosh, I would never do what you've just done. You must feel so embarrassed. How could you do that? Anything like that, you can say, I'm sorry, can you repeat that more slowly, please? I didn't quite hear. I'm sorry, I didn't quite hear what you said. Can you repeat it more slowly? And quite often, if someone is saying something they're sort of reacting to something that you've done and it's harsh, hurtful and critical, if you, again, ask them to repeat it, they often, 90% of the time, won't actually say the same thing again because they don't actually like what it sounds like when it comes out of their mouth. So they often will not repeat it, but also it gives them an opportunity to really think about what they're saying, because most people aren't unkind. They're not trying to hurt you on purpose. So that's number 2. Number 3 is really helpful, especially if it's someone that has criticised you, or something that you've done, something that actually you're quite proud of, and then they put it down or they diminish you in some way. You can actually ask them outright, are you trying to hurt my feelings? And if it's a friend or family member, they'll be like, no, of course not. What I meant is, and then they will re-explain what they actually meant. And then when you understand their intention, you don't take on the comments that they said, because you understand the intention behind what they said. So, are you trying to hurt my feelings is a really good one. But if the other person says, yes, actually, I really don't like you, I think you're a X, Y, and Z, you can just smile and say, well, that's not going to work. I'm not letting that in. And you're, again, just telling them, look, you can try and hurt me and be angry towards me, but I'm not taking that. You can keep that, and leave it with them. Number 5. Now, if someone is just on and on and on at you, and 1 to 4 is not getting you anywhere, sometimes you can just go straight for this one if it's someone that is constantly putting you down. And if they're telling you everything that they think is wrong with you and everything that you do is wrong, you can just say, look, while we're sharing, did you know critical people actually save their worst criticism for themselves? And if diminishing me makes you feel elevated, then that says a lot about you. And it's a way, again, of just letting them know that you understand where they're coming from. And it is true, people that are really critical of others, they are the most critical of themselves. And just like a seesaw, they feel the need to put you down to elevate themselves. And that's really sad when you think about it. Other people need to put you down. So people that are just happy and feel good about themselves don't feel the need to do that. So you know that they're the ones that are hurting, and it's not something that you need to pick up, take on board, or believe about yourself. So you can just reject that and push it right back onto them, saying that you know, because you understand, that critical people save the worst criticism for themselves. So I am using these, I'm teaching these to my kids. Thank you for sharing that. Works quite well when you've got a teenager that doesn't like you very much and they let you know. You can say, thank you for sharing that. But it's a really nice way of just diffusing any arguments as well. So that's my 1 to 5. And I wish someone had taught those to me a long, long time ago. So hope you found that useful. I'll see you soon. Lots of love. Bye.